All right, guys. So I want to welcome you again to this session. Good morning, everybody here. I'm super excited to be on here again with you guys this morning. My name is Tobi Okunuga, and I'll be taking you through this amazing session. All right, so this morning, my goal is very, very simple, to show you how to use the TradingView platform like a pro. All right, so I'll be taking you through the platform, how to register on the platform, some major tools and resources that is available to you on the platform, and how those tools can improve your your charting, your analysis, and make you stay consistent as a forex trader. All right, but before we go into those details, let's do a quick poll. All right, now the popular platform that we all start from knowing how to trade is the MetaTrader platform. All right, if you are currently trading on MT5, or if right now you are currently trading only on the MT5 platform, type in a 1 in the chat box. If you're already trading on the TradingView platform, type in a 2 in the chat box, just to know my audience and who I'm talking to, so I know how best to go about it. If you are currently trading with MT5, that is what you use for your charting, your analysis, type in a 1 in the chat box. If you are already using TradingView for your charting and analysis, please type in 2 in the chat box. Thank you so much. So let's see here. Steven is using MT5. Perfect. Victor is using TradingView. John TradingView. Dominic is using both MT5 and TradingView. Fantastic. All right. So actually, my number one recommendation is for you to what's it called? Use MT5 actually, because that's the Robinson 1 and 2. All right. Perfect. So MT5 is the best that you can use, especially you also want to log into your brokerage account on your MT5, because that will give you the real market price in which you're going to be taking entry. All right. But why I also like the TradingView platform is for some specific reasons that I'm going to mention, right? Both platforms has their own pros and cons, right? So I won't really delve into the pros and cons of MT5 because that is another session entirely. But I want to show you how you can improve your trading game with TradingView. I think as a forex trader, you should be using both MT5 and TradingView. All right. For example, how do I use both? Right. I come to TradingView to do my analysis, use those tools, and then I take entry on MT5. Also, I like to use TradingView because it is a cloud-based system. So when I make an analysis on let's say the TradingView web interface, right, and then I'm going out and I want to continue from where I stop, I can just pick up my phone, right, and log in to my TradingView account, and all my analysis, my charting, my rectangles, everything I've done, my write-up will still remain on the chart. So that's one major advantage to TradingView, unlike MT5, whereby it's not cloud-based, right? If you do an analysis on the PC version or your Apple version, right, it's not reflect on the mobile version. All right. So the first thing you want to do, guys, for people that are already that don't have an account with TradingView yet, you want to create a free account with TradingView. So you want to go to the website www.tradingview.com, and then you want to create a free account. All right, it's quite easy to navigate. Just where you create a free account on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere, so you see the option to create account, right? So they have a free plan, and they also have paid plans. But I recommend that you can get started with a free plan. You don't really need a paid plan, especially if you are a beginner. But if you want to get access to more features, you might need to subscribe to the paid plan, right? So the premium plan starts from $15 on a monthly basis. All right. So personally, so on the free plan, for example, you are going to be seeing a lot of ads, popping up here and there, and that might be distracting to you as a trader. All right. So if you feel distracted by those adverts, I recommend that you upgrade to the premium plan for those $15. And that plan will also give you access to, if you're someone that you trade using indicators, you can add more indicators on your charts. If you're someone that use alerts, right, you can add more alerts on your chart, right? With the premium plan, you can do a bar replay. So you can take the chart back in time and then play it out in real time as if it's a real environment. I'll show you all of that as well. So in other words, I encourage, especially if you want to take your trading seriously, I encourage at least subscribe to the premium plan, the $15 plan. That is about 8,000 Naira every month, right? Most of us spend more than that on on junk food or recharge cards or stuff that's not very, very productive, right? But when you subscribe to TradingView, it's just consider it as cost of doing business, right? Just the way you take transport fare to work or something like that. So consider this as your cost in your forex trading business, and 8,000 Naira, it's not too big of a deal. All right. So once you create an account, free account, or you choose to upgrade, I recommend that you download, okay, if you are using your laptop, you're going to download the PC version, okay, the PC, or if you use Apple, the PC version. All right. You also want to download, okay, download the mobile app on your phone, okay. So because it's better, actually, you get a better experience using TradingView on the apps. So either the PC version or the version for MacBook, you download it on the website, you see the link to download it there, and then you also download the mobile app version, right? It's going to come in very, very handy. Okay, so Temitope is asking, what is TradingView used for? So TradingView is a charting and analysis platform, right? So something very, very similar to what we do on the MetaTrader 5 platform, all right? So we're talking about how to use TradingView. There are some pros that TradingView has that is not available on the MT5. So to talk about, the first thing you want to do is to go to these websites, and then you want to create a free account. Once you create a free account, you're going to download the PC version and the mobile version on your phone, so that anywhere you are, you can work on any gadget at all. Once you make an analysis, do any setup on any of those platforms, it's going to be showing in real time on every of the platforms that you are logged into. Okay, so that's one of the major perks that TradingView has. So once you create an account, right, and then you log in to your TradingView. So by default, you can see that my background here is black. So by default, you won't see this black. Okay, it will possibly be some, hold on, it will be something like this. Let me, okay, in a second. I want to show you how exactly it's going to look like and how you can customize yours to look exactly the way you want it to look. All right, good. So it will look something like this. Okay, that is when you create the account and then you have access to the chart, right? You see this white background, right? If you are very, very comfortable using this white background, you can leave it as is, right? But the good thing again about TradingView is that you can you can customize the physical appearance. So let's further talk about the appearance, setting up the TradingView Outlook, okay, to suit your kind of person, right? So you want to work on the colors of the background, the colors of the candlesticks. All right. So how do you change these colors, right? So on the chart, right, just right click anywhere on the chart. On the options, right, you're going to see settings. Okay, so let's click on settings. All right, so you have this chart settings here, right? On symbol, the first option here is a symbol. And on symbol here, you have the option to change the colors of the candlesticks, of the buy and sell candles, right? You can see for the body, this green is a buy. So if you're someone, I know people that uses blue as buy, okay, and then maybe like black as sell or something like that, or yellow. So you can change it to whatever suits your color profile, right? Well, I like green and red, so I'm going to maintain this color. Where is the green I use? Is it this? Yeah. And then I'll maintain red. So you can change everything. You can change the colors of the wicks, right? The colors of the borders of the candlestick, right? You see all of the options here. Under data modification as well, if you're in a different part of the world, this is where you change the time zone to wherever you are. So right now I'm in Lagos. That's why it's in Lagos. Yeah. But by default, it should pick your time zone, all right, by default, because of your CMOS battery. All right, so symbol, then you want to come to appearance. So appearance is where you set the color of your background. Okay, so do you want a white background, or do you want a black background, or any other color? Over here on that background, you see, do you need a gradient color or a solid color? All right, so let's select solid color. And over here, if you want to change it to green, is there. All right, whatever color you want to change it to, this is where you select it. Okay, so you can be very, very flexible with how your trading view appear. All right, but I like to use black because I found out that it's quite calming. It calms me, right? It makes the charts look really calm and peaceful, right? So that's why I use black, just my own preference. Okay, so black really goes well with my candlestick colors. So everything is just amazing for me like that. All right. And then over here, the vertical and the vertical, what's it called? Grid lines and the horizontal grid lines. All right. So over here is where you want to do all of that to change the colors as well to possibly suit your background color. All right. And then the next thing that you might want to add is if you're a fan of watermarks. Okay, so if you highlight this watermark now, the color, the currency symbol will show at the background. You can see this is AUD USD 4 hours, right? So you can make it blurry or like faint or really bold. Okay, so you do the opacity settings here. So if you want to do it, okay, can make it a bit light, but I don't really need it, so I'll just untick. All right, so you can check out all the color options. You can change the color of your crosshair as well. So once you're done with all of those things, all right, you want to click on OK here. All right, so once you click on that, everything is going to align properly. All right, so let me go back to my settings and do dark. All right, good. So this is my outlook. All right, so I'm good. My candlestick is all right. my background is all right. All right. So the next thing I'd like us to talk about is creating a watch list. All right, creating a watch list. So watch list. So watch list is simply currency pairs that you are looking to trade for that particular week. So your watch list can change from time to time, from week to week, from day to day. All right. So once you have currency pair in your watch list, you know exactly the pairs that you are monitoring in a particular day or in a particular trading period. All right. So how do you create a watch list? Dominic is raising your hand, so let me quickly unmute Dominic. So Dominic, unmute yourself and speak quickly.
All right, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, bros.
Yeah, I would like to ask, I noticed some of your candles, they are white in between.
Yes.
Instead
Okay,
of the
so that's
normal.
because that's
Okay.
because I have an indicator called the inside bar. I can just
Sorry?
remove it. I have an indicator called inside bar. That's
all right.
Yeah, so it's not, yeah, so I'll remove it now.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I was talking about how to create your watch list. All right, so a watch list is pretty much currency pairs that you are looking to trade in a particular period. So over here is where you create it, right? At the right hand side, okay, over here, you can see that I have a watch list here. Okay, so by default, when you create a new TradingView account, it's going to add a lot of commodities, indices, crypto, things here. So you can actually remove everything and then add your own. So by default, when you see all of those things on the watch list, you see, once you hover your, let me make it bigger and show it properly. All right. So once you hover your cursor on it, you see the X icon here. So when you click on X, you can actually remove everything. All right. So I want to remove everything because I'm still trading this. And then once you remove everything, you can start adding the pairs that you want to add. All right. So how do you add a pair? All right. You can see at this top here, this plus sign, you see add symbol. So let's click on add symbol. So let's say I want to add gold. So you here type for gold, GOLD, okay? And I click on this plus sign here. You can see the plus sign is add to watch list. So when I click on it and I go back, you can see gold is now there. All right. If you want to add your US 30 indices, so let me US 30. Okay, you add, all right, it is there. So as many currency pairs, commodities that you want to add, you can put it on the watch list. As a matter of fact, you can have different categories of watch list. So you can have a watch list for crypto pairs. You can have a watch list for indices, watch list for different commodities, exotics that you trade. All right. So how do you have like different categories of watch list? So on this watch list here, you can see this drop down icon. I don't know if you can see it, but when you click on watch list, right, you can see I have coins. I have a watch list called coins for my crypto coins. There's a watch list called Emmy's watch list, and there's one, my watch list, there's another one, my watch list. So you can actually add new lists. So how do you add new lists? How do you create a new list? All right, just click on create new list here. So when I click on create new list, all right, you'll be asked for the name of the list. So let's say this is a crypto. So on this list now, I'm going to be adding crypto pairs. You can see, so by default, it's there. So if I now want to add pairs to this crypto, I just come here, click on the plus sign, add symbol, and then I do my, okay. I add my, so you can see my Cardano is there. If I want to add BTC, all right, it's there. So that is how you sort out your watch list. Temitope is asking, yeah, so you can, anyone is fine. You know, it depends on the particular brokerage. So if you put in gold XAU USD, right, you would also see it. Okay, Temitope, can you see? So anyone you put there, you see what to add. Okay, so we've sorted out the watch list. So once you've done your watch list, you can remove from your watch list and add at any point in time. So you can be very, very flexible and creative with how you want your watch list to look like. So another thing that I'll talk about on the watch list is, so let's say I'm currently trading BTC USD. So to go to the chart of each of those currency pairs on the watch list, you just need to click on them. Okay, so I've clicked on the BTC USD chart right now. This is what it's showing me. You can see the chart. All right. And let's say I'm making my analysis and then I possibly spot a zone, a point of interest, and then I'm looking to come back to this pair sometime later to find entry, so that I'll remember that I'm looking forward to something happening. I can give it like a color. Okay, over here, just in front of the symbol, you see this, you see different colors. So I can actually arrange it by color. So we have red, blue, green, yellow. So personally, when I'm looking at a particular pair that I want to trade, possibly I spotted a zone, right? I use red, okay, on that particular pair. If I'm already in a trade, if I'm already in a trade, I give it a different color. So let's say I'm already in Cardano, I give it green. So I'll know the pairs that I should focus on, and the pairs that I should just be checking intermittently. So regardless of so this would depend on how you do your trading. So you can actually use this color to code them, and then you understand exactly what you should be looking forward to on those currency pairs. Give me some feedback in the chat box so far. Based on what I've said so far about watch list, do we understand? If you understand, please type in a yes in the chat box. If you don't understand, please type in a no in the chat box. Thank you. Just to know if we are following. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Joshua. All right. Good. So I think most of us should understand, because we've not started talking about any technical things, so to say. All right, Stephen, John, good. So that's pretty much it about watch list. Yes, Stephen Ojo, is the same on mobile app as well, just that mobile app wouldn't look as big as this. So it's a different interface on mobile app, but everything you can do on the web app or the PC version, you can do it as well on the mobile app. Okay. All right, so let us move on. So let's talk about the TradingView chart itself, the platform. How do you change the time frames? How do you add indicators? How do you add tools on your chart for analysis? Okay. How do you change the candlesticks? So at the top here, let me annotate there. At this very top, okay, where my red marker is, okay, let's start from, the information here. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the different time frames that you can change to. All right, so by default, again, you will not see as these many time frames at the very top here. Okay, possibly you see just, let me show you what you want. Maybe you see just 3 to 4, you know, you see just 3 to 4 or even one, time frame. Okay, so right now you have like three time frames here. Okay, so how do you switch time frames and then make the time frame stay here so that you won't have to be clicking on this drop down every time? So if you want to change time frames and go to a different time frame on the chart, over here, this drop down menu, this drop down icon here, you click on it, you see all the time frames that you can trade on. So 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the like. So let's say I want to change to 15 minutes. I come here, I click on 15 minutes. All right. If I want to change to 1 hour, click on the 1 hour here. But notice that every time I change the time frame, the previous one, would disappear. So there's a way that there's something we call favorites in TradingView. So you can favorite any particular tool, any indicator or whatever. So when you favorite it, that means it's going to remain on the screen for easy accessibility. Okay, so and that favorite is this star. Is this star right now or a hexagon or a pentagon right here? So in front of the time frame, right, you see the star. So if I want to favorite 1 hour, I click on that gold thing. So it's an add to favorite. If I want to have 5 minutes, I click on 5 minutes, I click on 15 minutes. So the time frames that you would normally check before you make any trading decision is what you want to add. So you don't want to add all the time frames, right? So the ones that I check the daily, I check the weekly, I don't check 1 hour, right? I check 4 hours, I check 15 minutes, I check the 1 minute most of the time. So these are the time frames that I check the most. All right, so such that whenever I want to go to the time frames, it's there already. I can easily switch between time frames. All right, so I use 30 minutes and 2 minutes. 2 minutes, yeah. So that's what we call favorite. Okay, so that's that about time frames. Nothing too big about it. Okay, Stephen Ojo, V. What is V? Okay, so the next thing is over here. This is where you change the type of candlestick indicator. Okay, you know that this candlestick that is here, this green and red candlestick, they are all indicators. Okay, that gives you a visual representation of movement in price. So there are different ways whereby you can view movements of price, right? The way that we're taught is the normal candlesticks called Japanese candlesticks, but you can view the markets in different ways actually. Yes, Stephen, there's a seconds time frame, but the seconds time frame will only be available to you on the premium plan of TradingView. So the premium plan on TradingView is $59 on a monthly basis. If you are on the $15 plan, you will not have access to the seconds plan. Okay, just the 1 minute and other. So, so go through the different pricing of TradingView and know what works best for you. Okay. All right. So when you click on this drop down, you see all the bar style available. So you have the bars, you have candles, you have hollow candles, you have columns, you have line area. So let's do bars, for example. So when I click on bars, you can see that the style has changed. All right. If I click on hollow candles, the style has changed. If I click on columns, so there are people that this is what they, like to use to trade. So different strokes for different folks, right? People that use the line, okay, for some confirmations, right? Then the Hikinashi, okay. Then the Renko, there's a Renko chart as well, okay. Okay, so good. I'm glad this came up. So it's not every hold on, it's not every time frame that'll give you the Renko. All right, so I'm not on that particular premium plan rather. So there's Renko chart as well. But Renko charts, if you're trade on the free plan, you might not be able to use it, or you only use it on maybe higher time frame like daily. Someone is asking, between using PC and smartphones, which one is better? I would always, go for the PC because you can see it on a bigger screen, right? I only make my analysis on the phone when I'm on the move, but my natural disposition as a trader is not to analyze on the phone. All right. It looks very, very small to me. So I only just, when I'm maybe moving on the road or I'm traveling and I need to check the chart, that's when I use my phone for analysis. But more often than not, I'm always on my laptop, okay? Because it's bigger. You won't really be making silly mistakes. All right. So over here, you want to favorite the styles that you like. So I use the Hikinashi, I use the line charts, and I use the normal Japanese candlestick. All right. So that's why I have those three here. Okay. So you want to set that as well. And if you want to add indicators on your chart, this indicator side is where you add. So you want to click on indicators. All right, click on indicators. And then over here, you see the search box here. So you search for the indicators that you want. And then you can also favorite indicators so that you won't have to be searching for them every time. As you can see, I've searched for some indicator and then I have a bit of them on my favorites, so that when I want to add them on my charts, I can easily locate them and add them here. So if you are someone that trades, let's say you want to add the RSI, okay, search for relative strength index. All right, so you see the RSI here and different variations. So when you click on RSI, all right, immediately it's going to show on your chart, you can see. And then the same way, you click on the wheel icon settings, and then you change the RSI length. You can change the colors on that style and every other thing you need to do. All right. And then you can also favorite it, like I said. So when you search for, let me find it. So let's assume I want to search for the awesome oscillator. So this is the awesome oscillator over here. And I want to favorite it. I just, at the front, I'll see that gold thing, add to favorite. So when I select it, all right, so when I come to my favorite tab here, I'll see it's awesome. So I can easily navigate between the indicators that I use for different reasons. Ambrose is asking, how do we use this chart? Ambrose, can you be a bit more explicit? What do you mean by how do you use this chart? Which chart are you referring to? Okay, so please help me clarify so that I can help you out. All right, so that's that about indicators, right? There are over 1,000 indicators that you have access to on TradingView here. Okay, and then you can also get some premium TradingView indicators as well. Okay, so next thing that I really want you to know is the alert. So alert is one thing that I really use a lot and why I keep subscribing to TradingView on a monthly basis, because alert helps me know when price has gotten to my point of interest. So when I create an alert on TradingView, and when price gets to that particular area, TradingView will send me an email. They will send me a push notification on my mobile app. They'll also send me a notification on my web app, and also a notification on my on the app for PC as well. So 3 to 4 ways that I know that price has got into my zone, so I know exactly what to do. Yes, alert is also on mobile phone too. Okay, well, I must say one thing though, because I use an Android and an Apple, and I have TradingView installed on both phones. But I find out that on my iPhone, when I receive an alert, I'll get notified. I'll hear a beep sound. All right. But on my Android, the alert is going to come in, but for some reason, it does not sound on Android. And I think a lot of people also have complained to me about that happening on Android. But you see the notification. So if you're always checking your Android notifications, you'll be able to pick it up eventually. All right. So the other way to also always know that you have an alert is to use the email address that you are most active on, so that when the mail comes in, you know exactly what's going on. Okay, so alert works on the phone, PC, anywhere. All right, so how do you create alerts in a nutshell? So let's say I'm waiting for price to get to this particular level, okay, at this stop here. So maybe when price gets here, I want to sell or something like that, or I want to look for a sell opportunity. Okay, so when price gets here, what do I want to do? Just where you want price to get to before you get alerted is you just over this, the crosshair, put it there, and then just right click. When you right click, you see the option add alert. So click on add alert. All right, so once you do that, okay, so I don't want to go too deep about alert, because you can add alert for price, for the market getting to a particular price. You can also add alerts for people that use indicators. Possibly their signal is when an indicator crosses or something like that, or like people that use the RSI, and then you're waiting for the RSI to get to the 70 level, the overbought or oversold. You can also set an alert based on your indicator. You can set an alert based on price. All right. But for this morning, I would only focus on alerts based on price, because the indicator thing can be a bit complex, and I don't want to get into that this morning. Okay. So please pardon me. All right. So alert based on price, you can see the condition is on the currency, on this crypto. Okay. Crossing. So as you can see, you have different that you can use, different. Okay, so click on crossing. So Bitcoin, I can actually crossing value. Okay, and the price. So we just set the price. Trigger only once per bar, once per bar close, once per minute. Okay, so you decided what you're gonna use. So I use only once, right? Expiration, where you set it. So it will take a month. So if you want it to wait for a month or more than a month, this is where you set it. All right, so you can give it an alert name, all right, so that you know exactly what you're waiting for. So maybe you might give it a name or not. All right, so I don't use a name actually, but you can if you are a bit more organized than I am. All right, so let's say you can give it a name BTC sell opportunity. Okay, and over here is a message. So the message for you can be to remind you exactly what you plan doing when price gets to that zone. So it can be a recap or like a summary of what you want to do when price hits that alert. All right, so I can say check the over time frame, okay, for Confluence, all right, something like that. And then once you're done with all of that, you want to come to the notifications tab. So this is where you set where and how you get notified. So you can see you'll be notified on the app if you select it. It will show you pop up on your TradingView PC version and the web version. It will also send an email to the email address you registered on TradingView with, all right? Webhook. So I think this is for, programmers. I've never used a webhook, all right? So play sound. So this is sound that you want to use, like an alert, the alert sound. So you have different ones, all right? So you can test out each of those sounds here, all right? So, but I use this calling, all right? So whatever was for you, then I like it to ring for a minute, because there are times that I might not be where my phone is or where my laptop is, but if it's on, I can easily know that Fred has gotten into my zone. So if you set it to 5 seconds, it will only ring for 5 seconds, but 1 minute is not bad. I can always turn it off at any point in time. So then I click on create. All right, so once you set your alert, you can see the alert will now be there. It will change to this yellow thing. All right, so whenever price goes up into the zone, right, you will get notified on your email, on the app, and via push notifications as well. So that's the beauty of alert. All right. So the next thing that I'll talk about briefly before we start talking about all other tools are accessible to you is this replay function here. Okay, over here is a replay function. Oops, let me use annotate. This replay function here. Okay, so why do I like the replay function? It really helps me do my back testing properly. Okay, Dominic has a question again. So let me unmute Dominic. Dominic, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry to take you back. It's
no problem.
about the alert.
Okay.
I would like to ask, like, does your data connection needs to be on? Like, for example, let's say you have 3 devices.
Yeah.
You are using an iPhone, a PC, and an Android phone.
Yeah.
And the PC and the iPhone, let's say your data connection is not on. Why the iPhone? You just have your email there, but no TradingView.
Yeah.
So the ones that your TradingView are, you get me, your data connection is not on. Would you still receive an alert?
No, you won't.
So your connection has to be on.
That should be on, yes.
All right, thank you.
That should be on, yeah. You're welcome. Okay. So whenever you come back online, you get notified, actually. So because it's a cloud-based system, so cloud needs access to internet. All right. So I was talking about the replay, and also this is one of the reasons why I also subscribe to the premium plan on TradingView. So let's say I want to backtest my trading strategy. For example, I want to see how my system has been working in the last maybe 6 months or in the last 1 year, something like that. So I can actually use the replay. So when I select the replay, the bar replay, right, I can actually move. Okay, you can't use the bar replay on hiking ashes. So let me change to normal candlestick. So this is a normal candlestick, and using the bar replay, right? Today is February 24, 23. So I can actually move the market way back. You can see this blue line here. So I can actually move the market back. So let's say I put it here. You see now, so right now, it's not looking as if price is at this particular date. So this is June 28th, 2022. So what I can do is, if I want to backtest my strategy on any particular time frame and see how price is reacting, I can move the market all the way back and then play it forward and truly, kind of backtest. But it's a manual backtesting now. Okay, so I can play it forward, and over here you will see the controls at the bottom here. All right, so, and the controls is, you have the play, and then you can see the replay speed. So if you change replay speed to ×10 and then you play it forward, you can see how price will be playing forward as if it is happening in real time. So this is how personally I, backtest a particular trading strategy, and how I know that, okay, in a market environment, how has my strategy reacted in the past? All right, so it comes in very, very handy. Okay, or let's say you wanted to know how the market did last week, how markets reacted to your trading system. You can just use the bar replay, okay, and then shift it to, last week. It's as simple as that. So, and then you just play it forward. You can do this on all time frames. You can do this on all time frames. So this is 30 minutes chart. Okay, you can do this on all time frames. Okay, and then you play forward. Okay, I have a chart. Appointment is asking, can we use TradingView to analyze synthetic indices? By synthetic indices, you are talking about boom and crash, VIX 75 and the likes, right? Because synthetic indices is only offered by Deriv. Deriv has its own partnership with TradingView. So you would only be able to access that part of TradingView on their website. Okay, so I think I know what you're talking about. So, but on the standard TradingView, you can't see the VIX, okay, because it's not a real market, it's a synthetic. So if you want to say, if you start with boom and crash, boom and crash. Okay, so boom and crash is not here. All right, V75 is not here. So it's not here. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but any other commodity or instruments that is available on the real market, you most likely see it on the TradingView platform. Okay, even a new coin that just came out in the last, let's say, 24 to 48 hours, it will be uploaded on the TradingView platform. Okay, so that is how you use the bar replay function in a nutshell. All right, so next thing I want to talk about, I'm only showing us the very important things that you've been needing as a trader, okay, that is into TradingView. All right, so let's talk about this left-hand side of TradingView. Okay, this left-hand side now of TradingView. So this left-hand side contains the tools that you use for your charting and analysis, for your markups. Okay, markup tools. All right, so let's talk about that one by one. Okay, so there are some basic tools that you will need, like a tool that will help you identify a trend line, a tool that will help you identify your support zone, your resistance zone, a tool that you can maybe you want to make a comment on your chart, okay, and things like that. Tools like your Fibonacci, tools like your trading, like your patterns, let's say the M pattern or heads and shoulder pattern. Okay, it's a lot actually. So on this left hand side is where you see everything. All right, so excuse me. So let's start from the very top. Okay, over here, the first tool, okay, is the cursors tool. Okay, so cursors, when you click on, there's an arrow in front of most of the tools here. So when you click on it, you see cursor, you see the cross, you see the dot, you see the arrow, and then you have the eraser. When you click on the cross, okay, and then you select it, you see what it's doing. It's like a crosshair. I think most of us are used to this cross thing, and then we'll naturally want to have it on our chart, right? If you don't like this cross thing, you can change it to dot. So instead of the cross, is now like a dot. Okay. Or if you don't like that one, you can change it to arrow. You can say it's now an arrow. So with the arrow, you can view the prices of everything, right? Or what is the eraser saying? So the eraser is if, let's say you already have, you already written something. Let me say you've written something on the chart, and then maybe you want to erase. I think that's what it's for. When you select eraser, okay, you can actually, okay, so that's not what the eraser is for. Okay, I've not really given to it, but okay, that is it. So eraser would actually erase what you draw on the chart. So let's try it again. So let's say I've drawn something on the charts. I've done a lot of analysis, and then I want to erase everything. Oops. So I come here, select the eraser tool. Okay. And I click on it, it's gone. Click on it, it's gone. Yeah. So the eraser erases markups that you've done on the chart. Okay. So the next tool is what? Trend line tools. So when I click on that icon, I'll see all the tools available to me when I want to draw something related to a trend line. So you have the trend line tool, you have the arrow tool, raise. Okay, so remember I was telling you about the concept of favoriting tools. I showed you how to favorite indicators and other things. You can also favorite these tools as well. When you favorite a tool, right, it's going to show over here. So this is my favorite tab here for all my tools. So these are all the tools that I use. Okay, so that I wouldn't have to be looking for them every single time. I can easily access my favorite toolbar here. All right. So when you are selecting the tools you want to use, you also want to be sure that you are favoriting them so that they'll come in handy and then easily accessible. And you can move the favorite tab anywhere on the chart. Okay. You would also see the tab on the mobile app as well. Okay. So I like to put mine below here. It just makes it look orderly. Okay. So trend line tools, definitely you want to add the trend line to your favorites. How does the trend line work? All right. So this is not a training class, but let me just select it. So trend line, you want to, identify a trend. So something like that. Okay. So that helps you identify a trend using a trend line. And then you can change the colors. You can change how thick it is, right? By clicking on this settings. And when you click on settings, it will give you all the options that you can have on that trend line. Okay, so on that style, you can change the color. So if I want this to be white, you can see it's now white, right? If I if I want to change how it looks, we have normal line, dash line. You can see dash line. You can see dotted line. So you can really customize it to whatever you want to do. What is this one for? Normal and then arrow. Okay, let me use normal. So you can be very, very flexible with this. Okay. And then over here as well, where you set the colors, right? You can set the thickness as well. The thickness, the opacity, right? So the thickness, I'm using the second thickness. I can make it very, very thick by clicking on this. You can see how thick it is, or I use the lightest version, the light version. Okay, but I like this. All right, the opacity is on 100%. So that means it will be very, very bold. But if you want it to be a bit faint, okay, this is where you set the opacity. Let me use a normal line. Good. So it's left to you how you want your trend line to show. So this setting is available on every tool that you select. You can also add a text to your trend line. Okay, so let's say, let me just add something. Let's say, just write trend line. Okay, you can change the color of the text, okay, to white. You can see. So right now it is at the middle, right? You can change the alignment. So it's at the middle. You can change it to the top. You can change it to the bottom. The arrangement, is it center, left, or right? So this is left. This is center. This is right. All right. So whatever works for you. So, but I like the middle. So that's what I use. All right. You can change the font as well. You can make it bold. You can put it in italics. So you can be very, very creative and flexible with how you want your things to show. Okay. So it can be your own custom way of doing your chatting. Okay. So for coordinates is simply, from the start to the finish. All right, but you don't really need that. Visibility, you want it to be visible on all time frames, right? So this is where you set everything. So once I'm done, you click on OK. Okay, once I'm done, you can click on OK. So, and then once you favorite it, it will show on your favorite tab. Another thing that you want to use on the trend line tools is the arrow. So I use the arrow a lot for analysis, and then when I'm also training people. So this is how the arrow looks like. So let's say I want to, do an impulse move or something, or point to something. So this is an arrow. Okay, it can also come in handy when you are trying to maybe point to something by yourself. Maybe you are waiting for price to get to this level or something. So it comes in handy based on what you want to use it for. So you will be the one to decide exactly what you want to use these tools for. All right. And then you can change the colors too. So you can just double click on it. When you double click on it, you come to style. The same thing you did on that trend line too, you can do it here as well. You can change the colors, the fonts, and everything. All right. So you want to add this to your favorite. All right. What else do you want to add to your favorites? You want to add horizontal line. So actually, the ones that I added to my favorite are the ones that I use often. So, and that's because of the way I trade. But if you're someone that trades a particular way, you might be needing more of these tools. All right. You're needing more of these tools. Okay. Now, so you want to use the trend line tool, trend line, the arrow, the horizontal. So for line that's horizontal is like this, you can see. So let's say you want to highlight maybe a support level, resistance, or supply and demand, or just a particular price. You can use the horizontal tool here. Okay, you can change the colors as well. You can change the colors, you can change everything, you can write on it. All right, you can be very, very flexible with it. So I'll just go ahead and mention the tools that I think that you can use at your favorite bar. So, but definitely you want to delve into the trend line tools and then add some of these things to your favorite. And then most importantly, I want to recommend that you just play with it and see the tools that you'll be needing. Okay, you can click on all of the tools. All the tools is available to you on the free plan. Okay, so there's no restriction on the tools for these markups on the free plan. So you want to click on everything and see exactly how they work, and possibly maybe something that you'll be using on your own as well. So if it's a tool that you'll be using, you want to add it to your favorite, and then it's easy for you to locate and navigate. All right, so I'll just skip to the next part. So the next one is the Gann and Fibonacci tools. So if you are into geometry, this will come in handy for you. If you're into fibs, retracement, extensions, fans and stuff like that, you come here. Okay, you can see it. You can see the fib tool, trend-based fib extension. You have a pitchfork, you have a skiff pitchfork. So a lot of geometry, shenanigans here that you have access to. Fib wedge. So I don't use any other thing here apart from fib retracement. So how do I favorite it? You have the favorite button in front here. I just add to favorite. And then when I add to favorite, right, it will be on my favorite bar here. So when I click on fibs, okay, and then you put it on the charts. Of course, before you use fibs, you must know how to, set it right. So let me just show you how I'll be able to customize my own Fibonacci. Okay, so by default, so this is my own fibs, like so. You can see the different colors and everything. I made it so. By default, you're going to see something like this. Let me apply default. Okay, so by default, it will be something like this with the old color background. It might not be as beautiful as you want it to be, but you can actually change everything. With TradingView, you can customize everything. So how do you do it? Just, you want to double click on it. When you double click under style, right? This is where you set your, your numbers. So the numbers that you want active and then the ones that you don't want active, this is where you set it. You can see the ones that are checked blue are the ones that are showing. So these are my retracement numbers and my extension numbers over here, okay? And then this is where I give them the colors, okay? Hold on, guys. So this is where I give them the color. So I'm talking about the background. How do you remove this background? I figured out that I didn't like the background. So you want to scroll up on your fib to here. You can see background is checked. So when I untick it, the background will go away. And then I can now customize the color of each of my retracements and extension numbers. So for example, I'm a fan of the 50% and the 61.8. So that's the golden zone, right? So I use the gold for 0.5 and 0.618, 0.382 in this case. So something like this. So I can customize it. So you can see, so at these zones is where personally I like to look for, some sort of entry, right? The 0 point, so there's some numbers that I here that I don't use. So I want to remove this. 0.382. I'm removing it. Good. So in other words, you can make it whatever you want it to be. So that's my golden zone. All right. You can add numbers. For example, add numbers. So let me just give you my template. So this is what I use. These are all my numbers, right? So this is how I did my settings. So 0.5 and 0.382 are my entry, right? My exits, where I put my stop loss, I change the colors to red, right? My extension numbers, 1.272 is my first take profit is in green, 1.618 second take profit is in blue, third TP is in purple, that's a 2.0. So I think then 2.618. So you can be very, very flexible with that. So I wouldn't really go into more details about Fibonacci because that's a different topic on its own. But I'm just letting you know that you can customize your Fibonacci to anything you want it to be. Okay, so that's the only tool that I use under Gann and Fibonacci tool. If you use the Gann fan or Gann square, you have to figure that out by yourself. I'm sorry, I cannot really help you with that, but you will know the tools based on your strategy. Okay, so you don't need to use all the tools on TradingView. So the next one is geometric shapes. So you have the brush, you have the highlighter, rectangle, circle, ellipse, yada, 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 right? So brush simply is if you want to do like a freehand writing or something, right? So depends on what you want to do with the brush, okay? You can also favorite it. I have it on my favorite. Rectangle, very, very important for me. My rectangle tool is what I use to mark out a supply zone or a demand zone. Okay, so I do that and I can change the style. The style means I can change the colors, the background. Okay, so how do I do that? The background has to be selected, checked. Then I click on this, I change the colors, change the opacity like so, right? I can make it red. So you can have a rectangle that you use for your support or resistance. You can have different colors, okay? So that's how you set all of the shapes and colors. You can also possibly write a text on it. So let's say I want to write demand, okay? You can put it in the middle like so. You can see text alignment. Should it be inside or at the top or at the bottom? Is it center, left, or right? So depends on what you want actually. Inside. Then you click on OK. So you definitely want to use the rectangle tool. So how do you know how to use these things properly? You have to just try it out on your own by yourself. That's why I said you want to play with these tools on your TradingView. It's free, okay? It's free to use. So let's check out another tool, Circle. I don't use a circle actually. I use ellipse. So ellipse, for example, I want to identify a zone or some points. Ellipse makes me do that easily. Okay, something like this. So you might not need it because you don't use it. So whatever you use, just go through it. I can only say so much. Just go through it. Then I love the path. Path. What is path? So path helps me identify trends easily, or if I want to mark out impulse move, a corrective move, and an impulse. So this is how path looks like. Okay, something like this is like an arrow that is combining. I don't have to be selecting arrows every time. So this is a path. I can control where I put it and things like that. Okay. As well, you can change the colors of the path too. These are the colors. You can change it to white. Okay, whatever works for you. You can also label it. All right. So that's that about geometric shapes. If you're into triangles, you select triangle, you just, those points, you can, use it. So that's a triangle for you right there. So the next one is the text annotation tools. Under that, you have the text, you have anchor text, you have comments, callouts. But on this one, I use majorly the normal text. So when I select the normal text, the first one, this is if I want to probably write something on my chart. Okay, so maybe I want to say something like maybe supply and control. Okay, something that will give you, visual cues at particular zones. You can move it anywhere you want to move it. All right. That's for text. You can change the colors, you can change the fonts, the sizes, and everything. All right. The next one that I think that you should use is the call out option. So let's say price is currently here, like so. Hold on. So when you go to the text tools, call out, I love it so much. Once you let the call out, so let's say price is here, you can call out something like so. So, all right. And then you make a comment there. I see, I see activity of liquidation, for example, liquidation. So all of these comments that you do on your chart just makes it interesting for you to know, so that when you come back to your chart at any point in time, you know your thought process at that particular point. So it just helps you remember what you are looking at. Okay. Chidubin Fortune, you're welcome. Good morning. All right. Sorry you just joined. The replay will be made available before the end of today or latest tomorrow morning, so you can watch everything in your spare time. Okay, so we're almost wrapping up now. We have been here for almost 90 minutes now. So that's that, guys. And what else do you need to do under this text option? Okay, comment, price label. So please play with every of these options, and you figure out what resonates with you, what works for you, and how to customize it to your style. All right. The next one is the patterns. All right. If you are someone that is into harmonic patterns, for example, you have the XABDC, cipher, ABCD, triangle pattern. If you are also into reversal patterns, like heads and shoulder, if you trade the Elliott waves, okay, you can see all of the patterns here. All right, so this is where you select it, and then this will just make it easier for you to identify the patterns on the chart. For example, if you are using the heads and shoulder pattern, let me see if I can spot a heads and shoulder real quick. Let me go to the 4 hours chart. Okay, I don't want to waste our time. Can I spot a heads and shoulder? Okay, good. I can spot a head and shoulder here. So let's say I want to trade the head and shoulder pattern and I want to itemize something. So let me just show you real quick. So this is some sort of a head. Okay, this is a left shoulder, right? And then this is possibly, the right shoulder, this or this, right shoulder. So you can actually use, the pattern to identify those ones. So let me just do it real quick. You can see it here. Okay, left shoulder, head. Oh, how do I use it? Give me a second. I'm not sure I can use this thing. Let me try it again. Okay, left shoulder. head, yeah. Right. And then is the right shoulder. Good. So this is, so you can see it just helps you identify those zones properly. So that's when it's going to come in handy for you as a trader. You can see? Good. So that's that. So if it's something that you use a lot, you want to favorite it. Okay. So if you use it, so just come here and then you favorite it over here. It will be amongst your tools. It's as simple as that. So I think that's pretty much it. And then you have prediction and measurement tools over here. So short position, long position, how do you use that? If you want to measure your risk to reward, for example, okay, this is how you do it. Prediction and measurement tools. For a long position, for a buy position, when you select it, right, you can see the red box is your stop loss and the green box is your take profit. You can change the colors as you like. Just come under style, you can see stop color, target color. So you can see based on what I've put here now, my risk to reward is 6.06. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, so that's how you use long position. On the flip side, the sell position is just direct opposite. Select short position if you're looking for a sell, and you're trying to measure your stop loss to take profit. Stop loss is a red, take profit is a green. Okay, you can drag it as much as you want. So you know how much you are risking to your reward. So over here, risk to reward ratio is 10.45. All right, and then you can customize exactly how it will look like over here. Do you want the price labels to show or not? Complete start mode, okay, or not, or always show start. So it depends on you. And click on OK. What other tools do you need on that measurement tools? I think that's all that I use pretty much. Okay, short position and long position. So you want to add it to your favorite tab. All right. So over here is icons. So if you're into icons, so this is where you can get all those icons. There are also emojis here as well that you can use. So this is based on your own personal preference. So I won't show you how to use icons because you're already used to this on your WhatsApp and social media. So this next one is a measure tool. So the measure is how you measure, is what you use to measure pips. So let's say I want to measure the pip move from this bottom to this top here. How far has price traveled? I come to the measure tool here, I click on it, and I measure from the bottom, I just click on it, and then I drag it out to the top where I'm going. All right, so, and that'll give me the pip value. Okay, so this is Bitcoin USD. So let me go to a currency pair chart and then show you easily. So Euro USD, you want to measure price movements from here to here, for example. Okay, this is how you do it. Click on the measure tool from the start, click on it, and then you drag it. Okay, so that will show you price has moved 362.0 pips. All right, and then that move happened within 27 bars, 6 days, 12 hours. The volume up on 5.54 million. So that's the measure tool right there. The next one is a zoom in or zoom out tool if you want to. So, and then the next thing that I want to do is if you want to now delete all of things. So let's say you've done a lot of things and then you want to delete everything at once at the same time. Okay, it's very, very simple. You click on this delete here. remove object. So when you click on it, it will ask you remove 4 drawings, or if you want to remove your indicators, or if you want to remove the drawings and indicators. So let me remove only the drawings. When I click on it, everything will go at once. All right, so when you put all of what we've done in the last 90 minutes together, you should be able to effectively use TradingView, but it starts from you practicing. So if you are not already using TradingView effectively, I'd like you to use this weekend to, walk through all of the features. Okay, and then you know exactly how to optimize your TradingView game. All right, there's another part that we'll talk about possibly another time, okay, which is this right-hand side. Okay, naturally, as a beginner, you won't even be concerned with most of these things. So, for example, you want to start publishing your ideas. So, TradingView has some sort of a community where other traders can view your analysis. Okay, but I'll talk about that some other time. But before we end this class, I want to share something. So let's say you make an analysis, you spot an analysis, and then you want to possibly share that trade idea with your friend or with your trading community. You can actually take a snapshot easily, right? You can take a snapshot easily. How do you take a snapshot on TradingView, right? You want to come to this camera icon beside publish. Okay, this camera icon, take a snapshot, you click on it, and then you see options, save chart image, copy link. I use a copy link. So when I click on copy link, okay, when you paste it, so I'll post it on the chat now. That link, if anybody should click on that link now, it will take you directly, okay, to the screenshot. So they'll see exactly what you're seeing right now. Or if you want to just copy it, copy the image directly, just click on copy directly, and then you can paste it anywhere. Or if you want to save it, save chat image onto your computer or on your phone, this is where you do it. All right, so it makes it easy to share your setups. Someone is asking a question. Can we have a detailed session like this on MT5? Yes, please. We'll bring that to you in time. Okay. So there are so many more functions that you can perform on TradingView, but I wouldn't really like to overload us into what you might not be using. I've only talked about things that you'll be using as a trader. All right. Do we have any questions so far about the TradingView platform? Any questions about what you've learned so far? While I'm waiting for a question, let me know if these have been valuable to you so far. If you've learned something new this morning about TradingView, type in a yes in the chat box. Let me know if these are valuable to you. Type in a yes in the chat box if you've learned something new about TradingView. Awesome, Joshua, Solomon, Steven, perfect. All right, so let us practice this weekend. Practice. Very, very important. So that is how, naturally, when you start practicing, you start learning more things, even things that, I don't know, you start using it on the trading platform. And then you start figuring out your own way of using the platform. All right, so that's how it works. That's how it works. All right, any questions, guys? If you want me to unmute you so that you ask your questions, please signify, and then we'll do that ASAP. So I'll wait around for a few seconds. You can type your questions in the chat box. If there's a function you'd like me to show you how to do, please Okay, someone be asking, can you take a trade directly on TradingView? The answer is yes and no, because TradingView is not has not integrated with majority of forex brokers yet. So only a few brokers, less than 10 brokers are available on TradingView. Okay, so for example, 10Trade. So TradingView has not integrated with 10Trade yet. So you cannot open a trade live on TradingView, on 10Trade rather. So that's why you want to use your TradingView for analysis, for charting. So once you've found a zone you want to take entry, you want to go back to your MT5 and then click on buy or sell. Okay. Babs, awesome. John, nice. All right, guys, so let us wrap up. Let me thank everybody for coming live on this session. I'm grateful that, you know, we all engage with the session. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your account officer, and then you'll be provided more details. All right. Tomorrow is elections in Nigeria. I'd like to admonish us to be extra careful. You know, may God protect all of us, and tomorrow's election will be free and fair, successful, without any form of violence. All right. I want to wish us all the very best this weekend and the next trading week. I'll see you in the next 10Trade webinar session. Let's have an exciting weekend. Bye-bye, guys. God bless you.